Ondo Finance has been getting a lot of love for its tokenization. It's been getting a lot of love by BlackRock, Larry Fink, TD Ameritrade, all the big institutions, because they're tokenizing stocks, bonds, ETFs, and then they're shipping them out of the United States into different countries, right? And in order to get the world onto tokenization, you got to have the right technology, you got to have the right Oracle data and everything. So this is kind of 2 for 1. Chainlink is also another buy the dip, in my opinion. So Ondo X Chainlink event at DC FinTech Week, convening policymakers and industry leaders in Washington, D.C. to discuss tokenization policy, infrastructure, and institutional adoption, together shaping the conversation on how capital markets come on chain. And this is them right here. Welcome to the Chainlink Ondo Network and Reception. So they out there pushing in DC where the policies and the laws are created. And that's the type of work you got to do. And this becomes a group effort eventually, that the more of the blockchains that have the pool that get out there and actually teach the policymakers, teach the people what is going on, right? Things get changed. And we always want that change to come in the form of laws and liquidity if you're holding crypto, right? And then we have this here, which I think is important. Policy is catching up to technology. Yesterday, Ondo's head of global regulatory affairs, Peter Curley, joined leaders from Chainlink, Coinbase, and the European Commission at DC FinTech Week. The panel explored how identity, compliance, and infrastructure are core to the future of tokenized assets. Then they go into the key takeaways. Infrastructure needs data integrity, cross-chain interoperability, privacy solutions, and compliance infrastructure are the critical areas for institutional adoption. That's obviously where Chainlink comes in. Then we have regulatory shift. The Trump administration is urgently working to reshore crypto activity back to the U.S. Much respect. U.S. and European Union competition. While the MiCA gave Europe an early lead, U.S. companies are now refocusing statewide. That's the MiCA compliance that Europe has done maybe a year or two ago, a couple years ago, that allowed stable coins and companies to really work out there. Permissionless future, public permissionless blockchains killer feature is inclusion, facts. And then the consensus, permissionless blockchains will prevail. Identity solutions are the next unlock, and the infrastructure for tokenized markets is being built. So them boys was cooking. You see all the big names, Amazon, Intuit City, Robinhood Circle, Ondo, Chainlink. They all out there spreading the gospel for our bags, right? And then, this kind of was interesting. This is not exactly the gem I was talking about, but for the Chainlink army, we got to put this one on the radar. For the XRP army, Ripple Labs leads 1 billion raised for new XRP treasury. So remember, we've been having an explosion in treasury companies. Started with MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. That obviously worked. Then you see El Salvador and other governments buying Bitcoin. That worked. Now you got Bitminer buying Bitcoin, right? Ethereum. They're mining Bitcoin, but they have Ethereum. They're doing really well. You have companies stacking Solana. We have Chainlink. We'll get back to Chainlink. Chainlink purchasing the Link token as buybacks from revenue. These things are happening, as I've been talking about, is buying these tokens and putting them in your reserve is great. So us as investors, as holders of these cryptos, we love to see that. We want to see the yield shared, the revenue being shared. We want to see these crypto companies putting money where their mouth is. All right, so let's get back to this. So this one here is, if you've seen the theme, y'all, is all this is cross collaboration. This one here is a clip of Benedetto. He's the CEO of Folks Finance. Remember, they built it on Algorand, and then they went cross-chain recently. He discusses the impact of joining the Chainlink build program and the journey of building a cross-chain DeFi protocol with nearly 200 million in total deposits powered by Chainlink. So you can now borrow and lend, via Base, Avalanche, Algorand, a few other chains, AVAX, that's Avalanche. And this is powered by Chainlink, right? Cross collaboration, y'all. Cross collaboration. And then what we got here is something that's also huge, in my opinion, for Chainlink, another buy the dip. We're excited to announce the S&P Global Ratings, the leading credit rating agency relied on by 95% of the top 20 global institutional investors, is collaborating with Chainlink to publish its stablecoin stability assessments on chain for the first time via data link. And they put out the press release. The launch comes as a pivotal moment in the evolution of digital assets. As of October 2025, the size of the stablecoin market exceeds 300 Bs. That's billion. Big B for billion. With the passage of the Genius Act in the United States, stablecoins are becoming a core financial primitive of global finance, underpinning payment, settlement, and trade. However, to support institutions seeking to adopt stablecoins at scale, they required a standardized, reliable, and transparent on-chain way to evaluate stablecoin risks. So they think in big picture. S&P Global Ratings assess the stability and resilience of widely used stablecoins by evaluating credit, market, and custody risks to the overall asset quality, along with the additional risk factors. Then they go in and they talk big stuff. And basically, Chainlink is like, I got you. And Chainlink's obviously partnering with most of the cryptos out there in one way or another.